Okay, I have some quick news. That's why I'm making this video. I am going on a trip this weekend to the Monroeville Mall, which is the mall where this film was filmed, Dawn of the Dead. But since I've already done a review of this, oh wait, this Dawn of the Dead movie, not this one, which is a pale imitation of this one. This is a remake. This is the real movie, but I've already done a review of this movie. See, it's so much better that it totally covers the box. So I'm going to talk about this movie, as the title of this video indicates. Okay, so I am a big fan of George Romero. His first three zombie movies, in particular, um, Dawn of the Dead is my favorite, Day of the Dead is my second favorite, and then my least favorite of the three is Night of the Living Dead. Not because it's bad, but because, in terms of rewatchability for me, and that's kind of where I'm coming from on that, is that I can watch these movies over and over again, and if I'm gonna say, oh, I want to watch a zombie movie, I'm okay with watching one I've already seen, and which one am I gonna get the most enjoyment out of? It's usually one of these two, not Night of the Living Dead. I just don't even think of that one when I'm thinking of just a go-to zombie movie. Yeah, I have go-to zombie movies that I go to when I want to watch a zombie movie. Anyway, that sounds sad to me now that I've said it out loud and I'm gonna post it on YouTube. Well, my history with the Day of the Dead began weekends when I was a kid. My dad and my brothers and sisters and I would go to the mall about every weekend or to sales, garage sales and such. And one weekend we went to the mall, and for some reason I remember that I bought a Jackie Joyner Kersey doll that day, and I was sitting in the living room playing with it, and I could hear from the living room all this gross sounds when my dad was watching Day of the Dead. I believe that's what he was watching, because I walked in the room and there was that scene, this wonderful scene, and it's the first scene I ever saw in the movie when Dr. Logan is in his laboratory and Sarah comes in the room and the zombie sits up and his guts fall out. And I didn't want to see the movie after that. Not when I was a kid. But when I got older, I watched it and I loved it. I mean, what does this movie not have? It's got action, it's got romance, it's got zombies, which I love. It follows, like I said, Sarah, who, and there's the group of scientists. There's only three left, and then there's a bunch of military guys. Military guys want to leave. The scientists want to stay and try and figure out something to stop the zombies. Because, Night of the Living Dead, the plague begins. Dawn of the Dead, everybody's pretty much screwed and they have to try and seek shelter. And Day of the Dead, the whole world is gone. There's just a few pocket groups of survivors, and pretty much these are the only survivors we see in the whole film. And they're living in a bunker, which is in a cave underground, a military facility where they store like lots of old records and such from like the dawn of time, or the beginning of the country anyway. Um, and these doctors are experimenting on these zombies and trying to figure out a way to so that people could coexist with the zombies. The military guys think that's stupid and they want to leave. And the thing that I always think when I'm watching the movie is, where are you going to go? And Dr. Logan, he's the voice of reason, like, where will you go? There's nowhere to go. There's no one left. There's just the zombies out there. And the military guys, all I can think of is, we're not getting paid anymore. It's like, you know what? Your whole world has changed. You're never getting paid again. So the military guys are stupid, but obviously they're the catalyst that create all the problems in the situation. And then there's two guys who are civilians who are kind of like the voice of reason. Like, you know what? You guys, you scientists are stupid because you're not going to ever figure this out. And you military guys are stupid because you may as well just face the facts that your world is forever changed. But it's just to me it's a wonderful story. Um, I laughed, I cried, I bought the movie. Um, and Sarah's just kind of going through the movie and trying to make it through as, everything. Dr. Logan, the lead military guy, um, Rhodes, who's we learn has just become the captain because their commanding officer has just become a zombie and they had to kill him. Um, but Rhodes calls Dr. Logan Frankenstein, um, because he thinks some of what he does is like Frankenstein. He's cutting the zombies up and attaching wires to them, and he actually has a zombie that he's been working with that's starting to kind of seems to recognize everyday objects that a person would play with. Like he tries to talk on the phone. He plays with a tape recorder. He thinks he can read a book. And he even salutes, and Rhodes really does not like that. But anyway, yeah, Rhodes is like very evil. I'm going to talk a little bit about this remake, which is an even paler imitation of the original. This characters to me in the remake of Day of the Dead are kind of cardboard, one-dimensional, and I don't really care about any of them. And my biggest problem with the remakes, I know a lot of people think that fast zombies are scarier than slow zombies, but it's just that thinking that makes slow zombie, people say if the zombies are slow, why are they going to take over the world if they're so slow? Um, it's the whole thing with, I don't have to worry about a slow monster, so I can take a little more time, get my stuff, but this sheer number of zombies that there are means that they're going to get you if you're blasé about it. If you're thinking, oh, well, they're not going to get me, they're slow. Well, if you take a little more time with what you're doing to prepare, then slow or not, their numbers are going to swell because you take your time. And everybody's going to think, oh, well, they're slow. I'm okay. They're slow. They're going to get you because you think you're safe. And ultimately, it's not the zombies that are the problem, it's the people that can't get along. They just have to fight because everybody's got to be right. And that's generally what the problem is. The remake of Day of the Dead was, to me, just, they were fast. There was just, one of the characters turned into a zombie throughout the movie, and then he didn't need anybody because the character, when he was human, was a vegetarian. Come on, really? Really? A zombie is going to remember he was a vegetarian when he was a human? That's ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous. And there were stunts that I know they were proud of because I watched the extras on the DVD. A zombie crawled up on the ceiling and ran across the ceiling. And that to me is ridiculous too. It's just a ridiculous movie. I really can't. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. Really, honestly, I feel sad that I bought it. Anyway, um, I hope this review was actually better than my last one. I tried to not make it as long and ramble quite as much. Anyway, I'll try to make videos more often. I'll make a video next week when I get home. probably, and possibly another one this week. We'll see. Anyway,